Right guys, welcome back, and this is one of the most important section of this course. In this section, we are going to take a look at ECMS 6 specification in details. Now, there's a lot of cool features were introduced in ECMS 6. For example, we now have a let and a const keyword to define a variable. We have a template strings, which we want to talk about in this video. We have a spread operator, map, sets, the for off loop, and also we have some function and objects, new things. For example, defining a function with the arrow syntax. We have symbols, we have iterator, generators, and some asynchronous features as well, which we'll take a look at. So first of all, and the classes. Classes is one of the cool things in ECMS 6. Alright, so let's go to the WebStorm, and here I have index.html and I have a script.js file. Let's go to script.js file, and here I want to write a string on a console. For example, if I want to say console.log, and I'll say hello world. Right? I'm going to save the file and refresh the browser, and I get this hello world. And now, for example, I want to have a variable. We'll just say var, or we can say let name is equal to, I'll just say John, right? And I'll just want to say hello John. Now, to do that, what I will have to do, for example, if I just remove the word, and then I will have to concatenate the variable. So I'll just say plus name, right? I'm going to save the file, and I'm going to refresh the browser, and now as you can see, it says hello John. But it seems like it's a hello John. There's no space between hello and John. So we actually have to go one extra step to have a space. Either we have an empty space here, or we can have an empty string with concatenated in this statement. I'm going to save the file and refresh the browser. Now I have a space between. Now this is one extra step that I had to go to achieve this. All right. Now, one more thing we can do here, instead of just using this, we can use a template string. Now, let's take a look at the template string syntax. Now, here, instead of using single quotes or double quotes, you will use backticks. So, backticks characters, and then inside that, I will say hello. I'm going to give a space, and then I'm going to say $, add a code block, and then the name of the variable, which is available within the scope of that. Now let's take a look at a bit more advanced demo. So for example, we want to have a person detail written on our HTML page. Now I'm gonna do it without template string first, and then we come back and do it with the template strings. All right. For example, if I just say okay, print, right, I'm gonna say person, right, and then I am going to say okay, I would say name, person, age, and I would just say profession, and I could just say gender, right? And I can say, yeah, that's fine. Right, so here I will basically have to write something. Let's just say I will have to say, okay, I want to grab the name and I want to write that on a document. So I'll just say document.write, and I'll just say, okay, the name would be plus name, right? And then after that, I will have to basically copy and paste 4 times, and I will change the variable names here. So I'll just say age, and then I'll have profession, and also I have a gender, right? So here I will change the name to age, profession, and then we have a gender, right? And then after that I'll just say print, and I'll give a name. Let's just say give Awais, and then I will give age of 29, and then I'll say programmer, and then I'll just say male. Right, I'm gonna save the file and I'm gonna refresh the browser. And now as you can see that we wrote document.write name and all these things, but it actually wrote on the same line, and it actually missing the spaces as well. So name and race and age doesn't have a space within, the profession doesn't have a space within that as well. So it's taking a lot more work to finish that. So for example, if I want to go to the next line, I will have to say, okay, document dot write, and I'll just say BR, right? I will have to say BR tag here. All right, I'm gonna save the file, refresh the page, and now it's giving us an error. Now the error is because we cannot really have this here. Oops, this is the thing here. I'll save the file, refresh the browser, and now because we wrote a BR tag in our HTML, so that's why we are in the second line. Now you want to have these too many times whenever you want to go to the second line. Now here we can see there's a lot more work to do if we want to have a text written on a separate lines that properly organized. Now let's take a look at the same thing with using a template string. So I'm just going to write the template string right here on the top. So I'll just say document.write, and I'll just choose a backticks now, right? And now here I will say name, and after that I will say okay $, and I want to give a name, right? And then after that I will just come down to the next line, and then on the next line I will just start typing something else. For example, I will say age, and then we just say age, and we can pass in age variable, right? And then we can go to the next line and just say okay, I want to type here profession, and then a $, and then we have a profession. Now it's giving us error because we need to add the template string here. Right. The last thing we need to do is by just adding a gender, and we'll just say okay, it is gender. Right, I'm going to save the file and just make sure it's fine. Now let's just say I'm going to comment this out. Right, I'm going to comment the code out, and now if I just go refresh the browser, and now you can see that we have a name, a race, age, or 9 profession programmer. So it got all the spaces which we wrote here. So every space we have between a name and the variable we define, it's getting its spaces there, right? And also if I just go and say okay, that's it, and then inside that if I just say okay, BR tag here, I'm gonna save the file and just go refresh the page, and there you go, it's getting the BR as well. So here I'll just type BR, and then I go BR, right? And oops, I need to go align this first, and then here we go BR tag, right? I'm gonna save the file and refresh the page, and there you go. So how cool is that? The template string saved us a lot of time and a lot of code, so we don't have to say document the write or document the write for profession and anything else, and then we will have to have another BR here. Now I'm gonna use console.log so you get a bit of better understanding. So instead of just using a document.write, I want to type console.log, right? I'm going to log these details in the console. I'm using this backtick characters, and we just organize this thing. And also I'm going to remove these BRs as well. So we want to see what happens if we write this without BR. Oops. Okay, and I'm going to save the file. I'm going to refresh the browser, and here you can see that we have name erased written there, age and stuff like that. Now I think I haven't reloaded the page yet, so I'm going to refresh that from there. Okay, so let's just go to the next line here. I'm going to save it. Oops. Save the file and let's refresh the page. And there we go. So we're in the next line. As you can see that we didn't have to use a BR, or to go to the next line. So template string is basically printing out everything the way we write here. So for example, if you have a space, we have a new line, it is just going to follow that. And also, what are the variable values we're pushing it in with the $sign and in the code block, it is going to get printed as well. So template strings are pretty great to work with. It's so much fun. You can save a lot of time by writing one line with the template string, and you have everything in there, and you can just keep copying that as well. But it is very helpful with the DOM as well. In our final project, we will see how we can use templates strings to actually save a lot of time, and how quickly is it to create a template. For example, details of something, right? An object detail, and you want to write it there. So you don't have to go and basically say, okay, I want to get that first, query selector, and then just create element, BR, then create H1, and then inside that is another text node and all that stuff. So you can simply just go and create your element with the dollar and the variable name, the value you want to put in there, and that's pretty much it is, and it works really nicely. Right, so in the next video we are going to take a look at spread operator.